What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, baby. Hopefully you're going to join us on the ride. That's right. That's right. We're coming back, baby. Back in action. Hopefully you're along for the ride, because we're along for the ride. Got crazy shit going on in the world today, and we want to bring it to you. So hopefully you're having a fantastic one, because it's a wild day and a wild night. It's going to be crazier and crazier as we go. So what is up, my friends? Welcome back to another night, another day that we just can't let you go. We got to have another one. We got the video going. We got everything going, baby. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about that the craziest secrets that the government has, and we're talking about the craziest jellyfish videos that we can find, and we're trying to figure out what the hell is going on in the world today, especially with these jellyfish UFOs. Now, the reason I bring this back up, and I know I have done a podcast on these jellyfish UFOs, is that I keep seeing these all over the internet, and I just can't figure out why they exist and who's running it. Okay, so what are the jellyfish UFOs? Let's start from the beginning, and we'll kind of wrap it around to the end, because there's a lot to it. So let's take a look here, and we'll pull up an article from Reuters. Let's pull it up here. Hang on one second. Now this one's from USA Today. You know, I don't know which way they lean, if they're liberal or conservative or whatever the case is, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, we're trying to get down to the real deal, nitty gritty. Now, the original, there's been many different videos of different jellyfish-like UFOs. Typically, they have some sort of bulbous head type base, and then they have some dangling arms. There has also been another video that's come out near Area 51 with an entity that looks like a mech gray, like a biomech gray, with like a bicycle helmet, metal bicycle helmet on, with like an exosuit. So we'll look at that too, and we'll kind of compare and contrast. But this article came out in January 11th, right around the same time that the Miami Mall incident took place. Let me zoom this in here. There we go. And this article says, jellyfish chandelier UFO caught on video, the latest to stoke public interest. So they state, an unidentified flying object seen in a video flying over a U.S. operations base in Iraq has been officially named the Jellyfish UAP, according to UFO enthusiast. Really, he's a UFO historian, not enthusiast. Jeremy Corbell. This guy has appeared, at the congressional hearings and all that stuff. This guy has all kinds of documentaries. He's not just an enthusiast. He's a documentarian. He's a historian. He's not just an enthusiast. I don't like that. But anyway, this raw footage took place way back in October 2018, and Corbell got this information on the down low from somebody on the inside, because this stuff wasn't supposed to hit public news. This stuff was supposed to be top secret, classified. But for some reason, these guys are getting this information and they're disseminating it. It's almost like it's soft disclosure. So Corbell states that the video appears to show a jellyfish-like object flying over the military base at a consistent speed, moving in one direction. The very interesting thing about this, and this stuff I really didn't understand when I did this the first time, was that the imagery, that the camera that they used to capture this image on and this video on, they were using infrared. Now, infrared, it's going to show the darker spots as hotter and the lighter spots as cooler. The thing about this video is that this whatever it was, jellyfish UFO, was going from black to white, indicating that it was warming up and cooling down as it was flying through this U.S. operations base. They could not see this with physical imagery. They could only see this on infrared, which is fascinating to me. It basically made itself invisible. Now, the question is that why didn't it make itself fully invisible to FLIR, right? Infrared camera, forward-looking infrared. Well, it kind of did, right? Because it wasn't at a consistent temperature. It was fluctuating, almost as if you were taking a radio and using the old school dial and going way up the station and then way back down the station dial, going all the way up to 107.8 all the way down to like 91.9. You wouldn't really hear anything. You wouldn't be able to, focus in on anything. And that's kind of what it seems like this thing did. Almost as if it had advanced jamming capabilities, which is what I believe may have happened. Corey Bell, who has reported on UFOs for years, said the object moved through a sensitive military installation and then over a body of water where it eventually submerged. After around 17 minutes of submerging, Corey Bell stated the UAP re-emerged from the water and flew suddenly at a speed far more rapid than what technology could capture on camera. Now that is what's really interesting here. See, this thing captured all kinds of sensitive data, or was at least capable of capturing all kinds of sensitive data. And then it just dives into the sea. Now, it was capturing sensitive data over a U.S. military base installation on the other side of the world. And then it dove into the water for 17 minutes. And then it flew off at an incredible rate of speed. See, here, this is what is interesting to me. Why did it dive into the ocean for 17 minutes? Is it a species underneath the water that this piece of technology was going to? Maybe it was going to their base. Maybe they got the information or got close enough to relay the information, and then they sent it off at the speed of light or whatever, speed of some crazy, insane speed, because it couldn't even capture on camera, and it took off to another part of the world to gather more information. If it is indeed a drone, then they could use the same technology that they use around the UFOs to encapsulate it into a vacuum that's not part of our physics. It doesn't have to obey our physics. It just has to obey a vacuum, which allows it to zoom off at incredible speeds and not affect the occupants or at least the technology that might have been on board that drone. This UAP of unknown origin displayed transmedium capability, meaning that it was able to go into water and back out of water and fly everywhere. So he stated, today we released the raw footage of the military-filmed UAP incursion within a United States joint operation base. This UAP of unknown origin displayed transmedium capability and has been officially designated by the United States intelligence agencies as a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Right? That's exactly what he's stating there. And, yep, and the footage time was October 18th at night. U.S. Joint Operations Base in Iraq. They did use FLIR, like I stated. Now, there's an additional details report by direct eyewitnesses and those familiar with the raw footage as well. The UAP displayed low observability. The UAP was not visible with night vision. It appeared to jam the targeting capability of the optical platform. Very interesting. The UAP displayed positive lift without the normally associated aerodynamic means for lift and thrust, and the signatures typically associated with propulsion maneuvers were absent. So that's really interesting to me. And they were able to follow this damn thing. I mean, they followed it in kind of like a weird fashion. They kind of like led the thing, and it was kind of like behind. But the thing literally looks like space junk, kind of like it looks like a jellyfish, but kind of like, technologically put together with like metal and, other pieces of just like shit that somebody would find in their backyard. It's not like the video's not right on top of this device, so we can't really see, but it doesn't look even anatomically symmetric. One leg looks longer than another leg, and so on and so forth. Typically in these UFO events, we typically see, a very angular vehicle, like very triangle shaped or cylinder shaped or a saucer shaped. but not like something that's just dangling with appendages like a dongle, like the Chromecast off the back of your TV. That's not typically what we see. So that's what makes it just, that much more interesting. I'm going to go back to the article here. Now, what's interesting is that if you got a chance to see Ryan Graves, who's a pilot and a retired pilot for the Navy, stated that he used to see these translucent circular orbs with inside of it would be a black cube. So they'd see the black cube and it would be encased in a translucent orb so you could see right through it. They would see these things all the time, but at a higher altitude, not at the altitude where this thing is just like cruising on top of the base. But he stated they would see these things all the time, and not just in America, but in other places around the world. And some of these things would fly right past their cockpit. I mean, like 15 feet above their cockpit. So my question is, like, why do we have so much in the sky that we don't know? And who's controlling it? Is it us? Is it us? I mean, humans, because there's a lot of different factions of humans. Is it the dark fleet of the CIA? Is it some aliens or terrestrial beings that are not human? Underneath the water, some frog beings or something like that, or fish beings. Just the other day, we saw a crazy video of a fish basically evolving. It had arms, and it was swimming, and then it got up on the land, and it was walking, and it wasn't AI. It wasn't that good yet. So there's the potential for there being a species underneath the water that could be utilizing this kind of technology. And with it being underwater, it may look different to us because the method with which they use their technology might be different. They might be developing stuff organically. We've heard a lot of organic UFO stories where it looks like somebody put like a paper mache UFO together, except it wasn't paper mache, it was like super hard. But it looked organic, like somebody had like some moss here, some technology here, some metal there. And you almost have to wonder if maybe some beings from underneath the ocean, which is vastly unexplored, we know more about space than we do our own oceans, could be sending up probes above the water, gathering information, gathering technology, gathering information about, if it's hovering over the military bases, it's gathering information about the nuclear threat. If the U.S. is over there, have they transferred over some nuclear weapons? They might want to know about it. What if instead of it being a forward operating base against Iran or Iraq or something like that, it's actually a base against these frog aliens or underwater terrestrials, I should say. That could be a real issue. So they might be sending up something to observe that and being aware of what's going on in their area. So they don't want to be taken by surprise. They want to know exactly the weaponry that's involved. This jellyfish type apparatus might be able to see easily through the buildings that are at this forward operating base, and then gather the intelligence there and gather all of the intel from the computers there, and gather any information about troop movements, troop capacity, how many troops do they have, what's the ammunitions there, the munitions, everything about the base that they might want to know in case of a war. Case of a war that they need to be aware of. And a lot of these species, you got to remember, is that they are peaceful for the most part. They don't have, many species don't have a lot of weaponry. They just have like defensive capabilities. You might hear about a little gray that has a stick that can, defend itself, that can like neutralize you, can like basically tase you. Doesn't tase you, but it puts you to sleep. They have that technology. So, when it comes to like serious offensive weaponry, well, they don't really need it. They just need to have the defensive capability to knock you out, put you to sleep, not have you attack them, right? That kind of thing. So, let's keep going here. Because the other video is really, really interesting, and it has to do with Area 51. So, we're going from Iraq, 2018, to Area 51 in 2024. So we're talking about a 6-year difference. which is a big difference. I mean, that's a long time, and a lot of things happen in 6 years. So let's pull this back up here. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to show you this video. This is pretty interesting. This has to do with the alien that was, well, alien gray, I don't know, jellyfish biomech suit. Let's take a look at it and see what you think.
Oh, guys, could this be real pictures of what are UAPs, UFOs, extraterrestrials, some type of robotic being captured by a man flying a drone near Area 51?
You see that head? It looks like a bicycle helmet, and then these look like arms, and these look like legs, but it also looks like the jellyfish UAP that was in Iraq. We just weren't close enough. So could this have been, somebody playing around with AI? Maybe, but this looks very similar to the UAP in Iraq. So I don't think it's somebody messing around. I think it's somebody that had a drone that was outside of the capabilities and jurisdiction of Area 51, and they might have caught something that only cameras can see. I think that's the key, is when we look at this, we have to say, okay, is this something that only we can see? Is it something that the video can see? A lot of times, from the 70s on, we've captured ghosts, aliens, all kinds of shit with what the camera can see, which is a certain visible light, versus, us being able to see our own human visible light. He's got another one too. That one didn't have a whole lot of detail. Let's watch this one here real quick.
Check out these amazing images captured by a 17-year-old with a drone standing near Area 51. He managed to capture a couple of UFOs on different properties, but his most mysterious UFO capture happens to be the Jellyfish UFO, which we're looking at on the screen. This has been a mysterious UFO that people have been seeing in Las Vegas, Nevada, as well as Afghanistan. On a military base, there's a video called the Jellyfish UFO video on YouTube, and it's directed by Jeremy Corbell. Anybody that wants to learn more about this Jellyfish UFO and realize that it's really a real thing that the United States military and Navy have been tracking, you guys could go check that video out on YouTube. It's called the Jellyfish UFO by Jeremy Corbell.
Okay, so basically he's just saying the same thing I was, but I wanted you to see that video too, just because if it had anything else in it. But it's Area 51. I think he said a 17-year-old with a drone, man. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, we did have years ago, I can't remember now what it was, 2018 or something like that. They were going to do the raid Area 51. Well, there's so many people that are interested in Area 51 now. You got kids that are willing to drive down there with their drones and fly it up. And yeah, man, I mean, the military could shoot these things down if they wanted to, but this kid's capturing some amazing things, and I think that it's legit because the similarity is too on point. It's too perfect. So, what does this mean? What are the potential ramifications, and what are the potential realizations of these objects? Okay, ramifications are obvious, are exactly the same as any UFO or alien object out there. Could be nefarious, could shut down our nukes and our weaponry, could shut down all of our defenses, could be from another country and shut us down, and China or Russia could take us over, or it could be our own device, our own security system watching over our different bases. But you got to ask yourself, why did it go into the water? Why did it go in the ocean and then sit there for 17 minutes and then take off? Was one of our own people piloting it and then making it take off at the speed of light? Probably not. Probably not. We have former U.S. Marine Michael Herrera who saw that very beautiful black, huge, like I think 300-foot UFO in Indonesia, was it? Back 2008, and that thing shot off like the in the blink of an eye. Now that was like a UFO replica or a UFO that we had back engineered. But this thing is totally different. This thing is like brand new on the scene, well, 6 years brand new on the scene. And I just think that it's a drone. It's obtaining information. Is it bringing it underwater so that the people underwater can grab that information? Is it bringing it to a base that we have underwater? I mean, like it's really interesting because if you think about the internet and where the internet information goes to, it goes up to the satellites, but it also goes down into a cable that goes underneath the ocean intercontinentally. So that the internet is actually under the water as well, underneath the ocean. So you got, if it was an underwater species, they could steal the internet information from the cables underneath the water if they had the right technology. Now, if it's a military installation and they're not using the internet to spread the information back to the U.S., they're using some other type of communication method, then that would be a different story as well, right? Because it wouldn't be going through those cables. It would be going up, or it'd be going around, or it'd be going, some other way around to get back to the U.S. for information purposes, satellite or others. So I really just wanted to dig back into this. There's not a lot on the internet about this, but we do have Jeremy Corbell. Very well, respected, great reputation, has brought us great stories and documentaries. Works with George Knapp out of Las Vegas, and apparently there's been a lot of people in Las Vegas that have seen this specific UAP. I think it'd be really cool if it was like a gray in a freaking biomech suit. But I don't think they'd put themselves into that kind of position. I think it might be something that looks like that. Maybe they made it specifically for that reason, to not freak people out, but to represent who they are. We think about our own drones, our own robots that we make, and they look exactly like us. We don't make robots that look like octopuses. We don't make robots that look like werewolves. We make robots that look just like you and me, at least currently. There are a few other ones out there that I've done a podcast about, different robots that are really cool and like really biomechy and look more robotic, and those are years older. But now we're really focused on human-looking, robots that are going to use AI, that are going to be probably our surrogates, just like that movie Surrogates. And I know you probably haven't seen that movie with Bruce Willis, but you should go back and watch it because it really could be the future. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. We're already at 23 minutes. So I love you guys. Take care of yourselves physically, spiritually, emotionally. Follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. Do what you want to do. Don't hurt anybody, obviously, but take care of yourselves and follow through on your goals, man, whatever they are. If you're young, you got time. If you're older, you still got time. And no better time than the present. You got a lot of options available for you. So take advantage of them. All right, guys, I love you. Take care. Peace, love, and light. Lockdown Universe out. Go like, follow, share, subscribe. Thanks. Peace.